Hey everybody, it's MrXStitch here. It's been a while since I've done a video. Things have been going on. So I thought, I try and do a floss tube video, but the problem is I'm the guy that doesn't do any stitching because I'm too busy. But I thought what I'd do today is talk a bit about my business. So instead of doing a floss tube, I think I'm doing a boss tube. I mean, I've been running MrXStitch, my website, for nearly 10 years now, and I've been doing it full time for about a year. And I think over time I've realised I've had all these disparate elements to my business, and I'm trying to sort of bring them together in a way, in a hope that I can actually make it into something that provides a sustainable living. I've been really lucky because I launched the magazine last year, and that just about covers itself now, and there's a tiny sliver of income over the top, which enables me to do a few things. But with things like the MrXStitch website, which if you haven't visited it, you totally should, because there's over 4,000 blog posts about contemporary embroidery and needlecraft on there, and quite frankly, it's the best. Because of that kind of pays for itself, the website. I've had a couple of advertisers who stuck with me throughout the years. Big up Krynic Threads, and big up Urban Threads. If you're looking for digitised machine embroidery patterns, Urban Threads is a right good place to go. And if you want good threads, you want great glow-in-the-dark threads, visit Krynic. Tell them MrXStitch sent you and they'll say, who? But yeah, the website kind of pays for itself, and I've got a Facebook platform, I've been on Twitter for years, got Pinterest, got Instagram, but I haven't really found a way to bring them all together. And I've sort of never really been taking it too seriously. But there's a few things that have happened lately that have kind of made me realise it's time to double down. And so I thought I'd just talk about those for a minute. Yeah, I just thought I'd talk about business because lately I've been getting quite into Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, he started out turning his parents' wine business into a very successful enterprise, mainly by producing YouTube videos. But he's a bloody phenomenon, Now he's got a digital media agency, does vlog posts every single day, and a lot of what he talks about makes sense. His most recent book, called Crushing It, got the Audible version of it, listened to it twice already. It's brilliant. Top tip, if you're listening to audiobooks, particularly if they're business ones and stuff like that, crank the speed up to 1.5 times or 1.25 times. You get through the book that bit quicker, it's still easy to listen to. Well, I listened to 3 of his books. I listened to Crush It, I listened to The Thank You Economy, I listened to actually the Ask Gary V book, which is based on the Ask Gary V show, which has got lots of advice in it. And then I read Crushing It, listened to Crushing It. And the idea basically is you give as much as you can for as long as you can. You thank everybody. We live in a world now where the digital sphere has almost transformed retail. Amazon's conquering the world. It's pretty unstoppable, for better or worse. But before that we had this thing where the high street got decimated by all these big out of town developments, certainly over here in the UK, and I'm sure it's not dissimilar in other parts of the world. So your high street, all these local independent businesses kind of get shut down in the face of the competition of the big supermarkets. And then suddenly these big supermarkets are really fragile, in this day and age. Certainly over here, some of our big stores, Toys R Us, places like that are going into administration because Amazon and other retailers have changed the game again. So it's not really about the way you shop, it's more about the service economy, or that's what it seems to me. It's more about the people who care. In this day and age you can buy anything online, so the places you're physically going to visit are the places that matter to you, and they're run by people who care about their business and stuff, and I think that's really important. So it's made me realise that for 10 years I've had people engaging with me on various platforms, something like 8,000 followers on Twitter, which it has been for years, and quite frankly I do Twitter a disservice. I'm not really massive on Twitter. There's 17,000 likes on Facebook, 33,000 fans on Instagram, and according to Pinterest, I get something like 700,000 monthly views of my content on Pinterest. Now, I've got 80 boards on Pinterest, and there's a lot of needlework on there, and it's really groovy, but there's a lot of people paying a lot of attention, and what I need to do first and foremost is maintain the service I'm giving, and if anything, be more generous and gracious and appreciative of that help. It's tricky, particularly for me. I've got a wife, a daughter, a dog, 2 cats, tons of business that I have to do, tons of work, 2 days a week doing daycare with Flora, which is the most important thing I can do. So it's quite hard to find the time to keep on top of everything, let alone then go over the top and be grateful. But what I realise is if I'm able to crunch into this stuff and perhaps put a bit more effort in now, it will pay dividends in the future. There's a school of thought that says that in order to be successful in business, all you need is 1,000 true fans. If you have 1,000 true fans who love what you do, believe in what you do, and listen to what you say, all you have to do is convince them to spend £100 a year, and that's £100,000. Now, it's looking at it very monetarily, but the point is if you can offer enough of yourself so that people love what you say, then from time to time you can ask them for things, and they will give you those things because they love you. I had the experience with the Kickstarter campaign for MrXStitch magazine. That was a phenomenal success, and it surprised me. I launched a Kickstarter, and overnight I raised £1,000, and I hit £6,000 in 4 days, and it made me realise not only was there a passion for cross stitch, but maybe what I'd been doing had been okay. I spent a long time in the early years worrying about the number of patterns I would sell on Etsy, or worrying why I never really got any comments on the website, and why the visits plateaued at a certain level. But it proved that people are out there and they love it, and to me, the Kickstarter really reinforced that. And so now I'm in this position where I want to provide for my family. My wife would love to be a bit more part-time in her work so that we can both spend more time with Flora. I realise I've got a fantastic opportunity. Not being funny, I'm the kingpin of contemporary embroidery. I've got this opportunity here to really make the most out of the business that I've built, and I'm going to try and do that. Another book I read recently was called The E-Myth Revisited by Stephen Gerber. Now, at first I thought the E-Myth was like either emails or e-cigarettes, but I realised that, after reading the book, it turns out that the E-Myth is the entrepreneur myth, and that's about, if you're running your own business, this is a book that is worth listening to, because basically what it says is when you start a business, there's an infancy phase where it grows and hopefully survives. When it gets to the teenage phase, you've got like 3 choices. Your business is going to grow and thrive, hopefully, and maybe you have to keep working your arse off, possibly to nervous breakdown, in order to keep on top of that. Or you can scale your business back and you can just let it remain a small business. But if you want it to thrive and grow, the idea is you have to spin forward and you have to see your business as though it is 5 years from now, and as though it's a franchise. You have to write every single element of your business down so that it can be replicated, because if you've got someone helping you, you can't expect them to achieve the same results as you do unless you've written down exactly how you do it. So the idea is you start documenting everything that you do, and you write down your processes and you make it explicitly clear, and at the same time you set up an organisational chart that shows how your business would run. In 5 years' time, what would your business look like? And then it may be that now you're fulfilling all those roles, but if you write those roles down, you can see what has to be done and you can start to engage with what has to be done. Now, I'm really fortunate in that, thanks to the sliver of income that comes from the MrXStitch magazine, I've been able to get an intern called Ailish, who's a flipping legend. She's a fantastic textile tutor. She works really hard, and she's kind of got the editor-in-chief function on my website now. I've also just started hiring a guy called Ephraim, who's from Bangladesh. He's a wicked. He's got a business degree and he's like my production assistant, so he's helping me with all kinds of bits and pieces. I've also got a web developer called Yulia who works for me about 2 hours a week, but she's based in the Ukraine. I've got a guy called Terry who works for me about 2 hours a quarter, and he does InDesign, but he's based in the Philippines. And I've just got a new video editor who's called Amanda, who's going to be superb, and I'm super chuffed to be working with her. And these are all people who can help me achieve things that I want to achieve, and hopefully in doing so, by investing in those people now, hopefully I can free up myself to get the time to generate more income and to help pull all the business together. I said to someone the other day, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in work, but the reason I'm drowning is because I'm also writing down how to swim, and I'm learning how to swim. So as well as doing all the things that are doing, I'm now trying to write down how we do these things and trying to organise it in a way so that I can start to streamline elements of the business and plug different bits of the business together in a way that might make sense and hopefully might make a bit of money. Because I love doing what I'm doing, but I love my family, and so I want to be able to support my family, and I want to be able to support the people who I've now got working with me, and I want to be able to use those opportunities to grow and thrive, because I've got plans, man. I've got plans, and hopefully they will come to some fruition. So I think part of the process now is I want to make more videos, that's for sure. I want to do justice to YouTube. I want to do tutorials. I want to do all kinds of bits and pieces. I've got ideas, but I think what I also want to do, and I kind of owe it to myself, is to try and document this journey that I'm going on. Don't call it a journey. Try and document this process so that I can maybe look back and see what I've learned, but maybe there are other people who are in similar situations and maybe I can help somehow. I doubt it, to be honest, because there are loads of people doing loads better than me, but what I do know is I've been around for 10 years, I've had plenty of mistakes, I've had plenty of somewhat successes, and now it's time for me to bring all this stuff together. So I'm hoping one day I'll be living on my private island in the middle of the Bahamas or whatever, and I'll look back on these videos and smile and remember when it all started. Or I'll be on my plane orbiting the planet, or anyway, you get my drift. So hopefully you'll join me as I do these BossTube videos. I reckon I'll do them once a month, and I'll reflect on what's been going on and be able to tell you the things that are working and the things that aren't working. It's all part of the adventure, and I hope that you'll stick with me. A lot of my videos, I think I'm going to be like, MrXStitch, but I feel like this is more like Jamie talking and trying to explain what's going on in this business, because sometimes it's just me sat at home in front of a camera or in front of my computer doing a lot of work. Sometimes I get people and they're like, can we come and take photos of you in your studio? I'm like, this is my studio, my dog sleeps over there, it's not very exciting. So I kind of want to kind of keep things real, and at the same time then do my best as a kingpin of contemporary embroidery to change the way you think about embroidery and needlecraft. So hopefully you'll stick with me. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I realise it's a bit of a different one to the one I've been doing before. Still don't really have any stitching to talk about, although I have had a few stitching adventures lately, and I'll do a video about those soon and tell you all about those. But in the meantime, if you like this video, please do like the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button. That'd be fantastic. With a bit of luck, there'll be a video over here that you can watch and another video there as well. What the heck? So yeah, take the time to meander around the site. It's early days for this, but I think you'll find it's going to be a wild ride. So until next time, happy stitching, people, and take care.